Hey out there. Like many of you, I'm here stuck at home in my basement, and like many people like to play music. I would love to be able to play music with other people, but you can't because of social distancing. So I'm trying to think of a project that could help people to collaborate on music, and that brings to mind this product that I've had for several years. This is actually, I think, way ahead of its time. This is a project that was a product for real-time audio collaborations for people to collaborate music over the internet. You may be wondering why you just can't use Skype or some of the many other tools like that in order to play music with your friends. And the big problem with that is latency. So when you're having a conversation with somebody, you don't really notice the amount of time it takes between when you speak to somebody else and you get a response back. But when you're playing music and you got to rhythmically be together, the timing becomes critical, and something like Skype just doesn't work out. So this device was developed to solve that problem, and it's really easy to use. You just you hardwire into the internet, and you've got an input for your instrument and a headset, and you could connect up to four of these together. Anywhere in the world, really, although the amount of latency does depend on your physical distance, but at least across the country, I know it's been demoed to work. So this was a great product. I think it came out like 15 years ago. Unfortunately, the company that made this is no longer manufacturing them, and they're not really available. There is a small community of fans that still use these, are trying to keep it going. But what I'm interested in doing is trying to solve the same problem or develop something open source that people can use in order to collaborate. So from doing some research, I know that this is basically a little computer that runs Linux that uses some software called JackTrip in order to connect the two boxes together. And that's open source software, so that's available. So what I'd love to do is use something like this, which is a Raspberry Pi. For those of you not familiar, $35 computer, runs Linux. I would love to come up with an inexpensive hardware solution that uses a Raspberry Pi in order to duplicate the functionality of this. So people could build these at home using inexpensive parts and have a little box they could plug in their mic or a musical instrument and some headphones and collaborate with all their friends. So what we would need to do to make this happen, some of the challenges of this project are, one, I mentioned the latency. So we need to get the latency of this guy down as low as possible. One way to do that is to build some hardware dedicated for audio in and audio out that they go straight through I2S to the Pi as opposed to USB. Getting a little technical here, but that's what we would need to do to get the lowest possible latency, which is something that is doable. We would want to compile a real-time kernel for the Pi, get JackTrip running, probably use a Pi 4 to get the most speed out of that. But I think all the bits and pieces are kind of out there, and if we could work together to combine everything and eventually come up with an image, SD card image, that anybody could just download, write it on their SD card, pop it into a Raspberry Pi, probably have one other board that would plug in to have your inputs and outputs on it, and then be good to go. And it's something where we all during this time could hopefully make music together. So if you're interested, let us know, and we can all work together to make this happen.